Hi there, this is Nicholson from Pure Cinema, and you're listening to Snobber Reviews Movies. Today we're going to talk about the third movie about the hammer-wielding Norse god of thunder, Thor, Ragnarok.
Hela, the goddess of death, has invaded Asgard.
Oh, I've missed this.
And you and I had a fight recently.
Did I win?
No, I won, easily.
Those that know me will understand that I don't love superhero movies. It seems to me that some people have a default setting which allows them to think that some of these movies are the best things ever made, and hey, good luck to them. But for me, a superhero film has to really push some boundaries to be truly interesting. I think of Batman Begins, an origin story par excellence about a deeply troubled protagonist who becomes a ninja and then a vigilante because of his deep-seated hatred of injustice. I think of The Winter Soldier, the second Captain America film, which, as well as being a well-executed action film with a bloody great nemesis, was also a great observation about surveillance culture, which has only become more prevalent since the release of that film. So how does Thor Ragnarok stack up? Well, it goes okay. I was very curious to see what bringing Taika Waititi in as director would do to the cut and paste style of literally every Marvel film ever. He's an independent filmmaker from New Zealand who has cut his teeth on films which mainly express a quirky, awkward humour and a lot of heart. Waititi's strength is that he can find humour in odd places and is capable of making an audience quietly chuckle or roar with laughter, depending on what is needed in the film. Ragnarok is the best Thor film in the franchise because of his influence, but it's still disappointing to me because I'd say it's the worst film that Waititi has made. On the plus side, Waititi absolutely steals the show as the voice of Korg. He is hands down the best and funniest thing about this movie, and interactions with him actually bring out the best comic timing in Hemsworth as well. But people are talking about how hilarious this film is, and frankly I felt like a lot of the jokes fell flat. I mean, it was Marvel funny, which is to say that it's a light-hearted jaunt through comic book nostalgia where no one takes anything so seriously that they can't have a little joke about it every now and then until the final act where it gets all super serious until the baddie is dead, then we can tell flat jokes again. Almost every one of the almost 20 Marvel films does this, and sometimes you have funny people, like Robert Downey Jr. delivering those lines, and other times you have unfunny people delivering them. That's what Marvel funny is, and this movie is that, except for Korg, so in terms of humour it is actually probably slightly above average. The action scenes are exactly what you expect from one of these sorts of films, so you could call it competent. The soundtrack was a mixed bag, with the best moment being comfortably the use of Led Zeppelin's The Immigrant Song, which had a strange feeling of catharsis because of its use in the trailer and the anticipation of it being used in the movie, delivered a kind of payoff. As for the cast, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston and Mark Ruffalo don't bring anything extra to the characters that they've already established. Cate Blanchett looks like she's having a lot of fun as the villain, while Jeff Goldblum adds a bit of quirk to the middle of the film, as you'd expect from Jeff Goldblum. I think the main problem for me with Thor specifically, that doesn't extend to all Marvel films, is that Thor just doesn't seem that interesting a character. For the same reason that I'll always prefer Batman to Superman, I just don't understand the appeal of a literal god that is as virtuous as Thor is. I can't relate to the character. I can't see their problems through their eyes. While other characters have a deeper level of complexity, Thor just jumps around, quipping jokes, always supremely confident that he'll escape whatever predicament he is in, while winking to the camera with a cheeky fourth wall break. Watching him is just not that interesting for me, and the film suffers because of it. But look, overall, if you're someone that absolutely must see all of the Marvel films to understand the greater story, I mean, hey, they may not be brilliant at making films, but they are brilliant at marketing, then you should indeed go and see Thor Ragnarok. And for the most part, it is competently made and can occasionally be hilarious whenever Korg is on the screen. In a cinematic universe full of absolute mediocrity, this film shines just a little brighter than the average, and gets 3 stars from me.